Welcome to Calypso Conversations. I'm your host for today, Kashina Joseph, and we are here in St. Joseph at the vibrant and water spark miracle surprise beach water park and water sports bar and grill. Established in November 2015, it was first opened on January 1st, 2016, and just 6 months later, they opened the island's very first inflatable water park. I'm here with my guests, Davidson Observer Victor and Daryl King Bob, and we'll be discussing the turn of the century. And before we jump into our conversation, we will hear from our sponsors, CSK Concrete in Portsmouth, Lafayette House Medical Laboratory, Lindomart, and of course, Luxurious Luz. We'll be right back.
Are you looking to construct a building? If your answer is yes, then contact CSK Concrete at Ravin Lechelle Savonpai for all your concrete needs. They are the suppliers of concrete premix and concrete pumping. Call them on telephone number 616-6565. Let them supply all your concrete needs. CSK Concrete at Ravin Lechelle in Savonpai. Go get all your concrete needs.
Calypso! Calypso! Calypso!
Great things are happening at Lindomart. There it is. You can lean on the consistent opening of Lindomart. The bank is right there. Great things are coming. Keep listening to your radio, to Facebook, newspapers. If you think there was trusted service, it's getting even better. Convenience, all your products, your complete shopping list, everything you could possibly want, need, desire, request, or just hint. It's all right there. Wait, there's more. There's a lot more. Listen to a radio near you. Lindomart. We're growing bigger, stronger to serve you better.
Prosper, where you going busy so? Eh?
My brother, when you got to go, you got to go. That's a private moment.
Indeed, when a man gotta go in leisurely, that's not something you can say not now. Here comes instant relief in Luxurious Luz. Dominica, it is environmentally friendly. Luxurious Luz is your friend indeed. That's why all of your septic waste is being dumped at the Wasco's plant and treated.
Hello, we don't dump by the river or by the bay or do vajou.
You better take in front before in front take you. Luxurious Luz, we also rent portable toilets for every type of public and private event. Luxurious Luz, we will take care of your dumping of your sewage and will professionally dump and safely dispose of all your used, damaged or expired groceries and give it a quiet funeral. Luxurious Luz, we are the number one in the number two business.
Call us at 448-2410 or 276-4289 or 277-2410. Wow! I feel good.
Lafayette House Medical Laboratory, my preferred choice for professional and confidential medical laboratory services. Lafayette provides results for all medical tests. If it can't be done there, they will facilitate it through their international partners. Their main office in Roseau is open from 7:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Mondays to Fridays and 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Saturdays. Home visits and emergency services are also available. Call 448-0100, WhatsApp 276-5213 or visit any of their locations. Cross Street, Roseau, Pickard, Portsmouth, Marigot or Grand Bay. Lafayette House Medical Laboratory. My choice, your choice, our choice.
Welcome back to Calypso Conversation, and thank you for staying tuned. I'm here with my guests, Davidson Observer Victor and Daryl King Bob, two former Calypso monarchs, and we are going to converse on the turn of the century. But before we jump into that part of the conversation, tell us, before you all got involved in Calypso, who were some of your Calypso heroes and who did you look up to?
Okay, I get to play open batsman.
Yeah.
All right. Yes, well, the fortunate thing for me is that I was brought up by a man who believed in entertainment, and he sent me out to those shows when I was a child. And I had the opportunity to see guys like NC, when I was, maybe 11 years old and 10, Hurricane did quite a bit of good work a few years later, coming out of Swinging Stars. So guys like NC and Rabbit, those fellas, they really made an impact. As far as I'm concerned, coming to those shows, knowing nothing about the art form, not even knowing anything about the social issues, or you just hear the grown-ups talking about certain things, certain political conversations and so on. But NC stood out the most.
And Observer.
Well, I would say I basically was born to be a Calypso nene. It's like I doesn't see myself like I get into Calypso. It's like I was born of Calypso because I started very young. I started like well, unlike Bob, I had the opportunity and the privilege to see the guys like NC and Piki and those guys actually practice, because there were two band houses in my village, in Gota village, when I was like a boy, and they used to practice there for the independence and the carnival competition. So I had the privilege, little boy, to go and see them, and I always wanted to be, especially the NC, I always wanted to be like that man. I always used to say I want to be like this man. But then now the opportunity, so in the village I used to always take part in any little singing they have, because when I was small I'd like food, check. So they always used to entice us as the little boys and them, with a little fruits or a little frozen joys, and come and sing. So I always in it, but I always used to win. So, but then in 1984, at school, junior Goodwill High School, Goodwill Junior High School, sorry. The real opportunity presented itself when the school organized a Calypso competition, an in-house Calypso competition, because at that time the other schools like SMA and Grammar School and so on, they used to have their competition, and then the winners used to go and represent their school. So they decided to open a competition, to have a competition in my school. I did not win, but I came first runner up, and the guy who won was a Christian, so they could not send him in Carnival. So they had to send me to represent the school, and that was the first time I gone on an official Calypso stage in 1984 in the junior Calypso competition to represent my school.
Okay, and so you, Observer, you went into the seniors in the early 90s, in 1991. Tell us what Calypso was like then.
Well, Calypso wasn't much different then in comparison to, for example, when there was the 70s and then you put the 90s together. Like there was a big disparity in terms of the type of Calypsos and the type of lyrical content. There was a dramatic or a significant difference in the styles of the Calypso from the 70s in comparison to the 80s and the 90s. But from the 90s to now, there has not been a significant change in terms of the lyrical content, the styles, and so forth. Although in the 90s, there were Calypsos used to be longer. So you find Calypsos used to be very much concentrated highly on lyrics. So guys used to put a lot of lyrics, and songs used to have or like 8 minutes and those things. But in this new era, the advent of people are kind of want the information and the climax of the information quicker. You find the songs are shorter, but the lyrical content still remains. So the writers are getting more conscious that when they're writing, they must write but get to the point faster. Unlike before time, it wasn't that. So there's a slight difference, but not much difference.
Okay, so now we are going to jump into the early 2000s. Bob, that's where you came into the senior league. What did you bring to Calypso at that point?
Well, I came into Calypso, although, yes, as I said earlier, I went to the shows as a boy and stuff. But I became a musician when I was 14. And I loved this particular genre of music that required great singing ability and so on. So that's how I was trained. And I thought that I could bring that into Calypso. I came singing my heart out like a crooner. And it took me a while to blend into Calypso. I had to give up some of that. I couldn't just give it all up, because I believe in quality singing. No matter when you open your mouth to sing, you have to sing. So, but I had to kind of pull back a bit and understand the Calypso a little better. So I came to Calypso with something very special, trying to bring change, trying to bring more singing ability towards it. And I think it may have worked because I saw other singers coming on board and people singing, I remember the likes of Tarina Simon and so on. And even now we have people like Tasha P, who are wonderful singers.
And the emergence of Dice
and even the emergence of Dice and other people are coming in. We see the likes of Shanice and so on. So I kind of brought that thing to it. I don't want to take credit for it, but I would say probably at the time when I came in 2001, I may have been the only one using all those kind of voice dynamics and so on in the game. But not that it worked for me, because it was not authentic. Dominicans, they still believe in their authentic Calypso. So I stayed doing that for a while without too much development. I took a little while to let go some of my musical skills in my voice and so on. And so I remained at a level, but still I maintained a very good quality of delivery. So basically that's what I think to myself I brought to the game. And it's still there. As you can, if you listen now, you will hear that I still put a lot into my singing.
Yes. So, Observer, tell us, but in your 31 years, 32 years this year, has your style though changed over those years?
Well, my singing ability has improved because when I started, my voice was very thin. So so what I had to do is I had to go to Cairo School of Music to train my voice, and it's when I enrolled in the Cairo School of Music and I start to understand the voice, and the voice is supposed to be around the tone. Just like how you have a musical system, there's the treble part and there's the bass part, and in order for you to get a rounded sound, you have to equalize it. What I was doing in the early days, I was using 75% of the treble and 25% of the bass. So I had a very high pitch and the voice was very light. So when I went to Cairo School of Music, I then had to learn to use the lower notes, which is the bass part, so I could get a more rounded tone. And this is one of the improvement, or the significant improvement, because after this is when I started to really achieve, great success as far as winning the Calypso Monarch on 2 occasions and even placing first runner-up and so on in the Calypso finals. A great, among even much better singers, than me. So that was a big improvement for me.
So looking at Calypso, somebody might think that you come, you get a song, you sing, but listening to you all, it's a craft that you have to perfect. Do you think that Calypsonians take that seriously, perfecting their craft?
Well, Calypso is an art form, right? So it's art. It's an art form. The music is one part of the art, and the performance of the music is another part of the art. And it's something that you have to take serious. But the greatest thing about Calypso is that, and a Calypsonian, is that a Calypsonian stands in a very responsible position in the society. Because unlike the ordinary man who would probably, let's say in a bar, make a statement or say something, or probably on the road just say something, it doesn't get the kind of exposure as a Calypsonian would. When a Calypsonian goes on stage and he opens his or her mouth to sing a song, it goes on the internet, it goes around the world instantly. So it is a very responsible position that a Calypsonian stands. And we continue, I think over the years, Calypsonians continue to take the business a little more serious, because especially we from the executive standpoint, we continue to impress on them that it is not a joke to be a Calypsonian. Even the few young persons that just came in, I continually tell them that Calypso is a very responsible thing, and if you're not ready to be responsible, then you better off don't come in Calypso. Because if you are not responsible, you're going to find yourself in a lot of problems, particularly legal problems, as well as bringing the Calypso art form into disrepute.
So Bob, do you have anything to add on that?
I think there are quite a few Calypsonians who are taking their craft seriously. When I look at the development of certain of my colleagues in Calypso, I can definitely say that they have definitely, because it requires discipline. And there's one thing I can say to anybody, that Calypso really is a very serious discipline. You have to be on time, and you have to put in the time on your own, you know. So just those two things I will talk about, you know, just briefly. You've got to be on time all the time for rehearsals, for the show, and especially now we're very virtual right now, which requires a timely effort, and you have to spend time with yourself to develop your craft. So those who do that are those who actually succeed.
The most.
Yeah.
Succeed.
Right. So that seems to be evident in the fact that you started in 1991, but you did not win your first crown until 2002. So you had some time to perfect your craft. You as well. You not too long ago actually you won the Monarch title.
Yeah.
So being a part of Calypso, has it made a significant impact on your lives outside of
For me, for sure, I can say yes, because as Observer was saying earlier, the Calypsonian is in a very responsible position because people look up to us. A lot of the kids, you know, they learn your name, they learn what you sing, and that tells you that they are actually they're following you. So you have to definitely, you have to check yourself. And I can say safely that it has done that for me. Sometimes I may be in a situation, somebody may pass and say, "Bob, you okay?" You know, and that's not somebody I know, but it's somebody who knows me on stage. So I really believe that this has been a life-changing experience for me. Me, along with other Calypsonians, I know for sure we could have been in much different places hadn't it been for Calypso. Calypso has allowed me to travel the world and, you know, meet people, and it has been like a university experience for me. We learn so much because you have to pay attention to what's happening in society. Politically, every social issue has to be of concern to you, because you're bringing a message to the public. It's not just a Vicky thing, you come and sing what you want. You know, all of us cannot be a sour, you know, but we are ambassadors, we are role models, and we just have to understand that if you want to do well in life, in your career.
Right, and what about you? Because you, by profession, you're a nurse, you know, discipline, all these things. Has that translated into your professional life?
Oh yes, because I have a story to tell. I don't think we have the time, but Calypso has been a tremendous influence in who I am today. First of all, it keeps you grounded, it keeps you disciplined. The kind of things that I may want to say, I have to be very careful where I say it and how I say it, because wherever you speak, people listens and people take you serious, so you have to take yourself serious. But one of the most significant changes that Calypso has brought to my life is me being a nurse today, because I am very proud to tell the world that I did not go to high school. A lot of people thought, everybody thought that I went to high school. I never went to high school, so I never had any subjects. But I was working as a warded before. And in 2005, when I sang a song by the called Global Man, written by Tim Dura, at that time the Global Man was referring to the changes that was happening with the CSME and Caribbean and everything, and the world was opening up, the Caribbean was opening up. I sing in a song saying that I'm ready as a global man, I'm ready for the global challenges, but I didn't have a subject. So then it hit me and I said, wow, I cannot be ready and I doesn't have a qualification. So from that same year, I enrolled in doing my subject at private institution like SMA and Grammar School, and I obtained all my subjects, and then it enabled me now to enter into the nursing program because of me having my subjects. And then I entered into the nursing program. The rest was history. I graduated as a top student in the first part of the program, which is the pre-nursing. Then I went into the general part of it. Never failed a subject, went to the regional, passed my regional in one shot, become a nurse. In my first year as a nurse, outstanding, I was recommended for permanent appointment. I got it. In my third year as a nurse, I got the most outstanding nurse on Emory Ward in the Princess Margaret Hospital. And my report has always been outstanding. And so Calypso has brought me there, you know, and I give thanks for God blessing me with a talent Because at the end of the day, everything we do, it still goes back to the Almighty Father. So He blessed me with the talent, and He blessed me with the foresight and the fortitude to continue to move and be positive and to improve and look for ways to improve. And I just give thanks, because Calypso has been everything to me.
Right. Very interesting conversation that we're having today about the turn of the century. We're going to take an ad break, and we'll hear from our sponsors, CSK Concrete in Portsmouth, Lafayette's House Medical Laboratory, Lindomart, and Luxurious Luz. We'll be right back. Okay, so we will move.
This is DBS TV.
Are you looking to construct a building? If your answer is yes, then contact CSK Concrete at Ravin Lechelle Savonpai for all your concrete needs. They are the suppliers of concrete premix and concrete pumping. Call them on telephone number 616-6565. Let them supply all your concrete needs. CSK Concrete at Ravin Lechelle in Savonpai. Go get all your concrete needs.
Calypso! Calypso! Calypso!
Great things are happening at Lindomart. There it is. You can lean on the consistent opening of Lindomart. The bank is right there. Great things are coming. Keep listening to your radio, to Facebook, newspapers. If you think that this trusted service is getting even better. Convenience, all your products, the complete shopping list, everything you could possibly want, need, desire, request, or just hint. It's all right there. Wait, there's more. There's a lot more. Listen to a radio near you. Lindomart. We're growing bigger, stronger to serve you better.
Prosper, where you going busy so?
My brother, when you got to go, you got to go. That's a private moment.
Indeed, when a man gotta go in leisurely, that's not something you can say not now. Here comes instant relief in Luxurious Luz. Dominica, it is environmentally friendly. Luxurious Luz is your friend indeed. That's why all of your septic waste is being dumped at the Wasco's plant and treated.
Hello, we don't dump by the river or by the bay or do vajou.
You better take in front before in front take you. Luxurious Luz, we also rent portable toilets for every type of public and private event. Luxurious Luz, we will take care of your dumping of your sewage and will professionally dump and safely dispose of all your used, damaged or expired groceries and give it a quiet funeral. Luxurious Luz, we are the #1 in the #2 business.
Call us at 448-2410 or 276-4289 or 277-2410.
Lafayette's House Medical Laboratory, my preferred choice for professional and confidential medical laboratory services. Lafayette provides results for all medical tests. If it can't be done there, they will facilitate it through their international partners. Their main office in Roseau is open from 7:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Mondays to Fridays and 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Saturdays. Home visits and emergency services are also available. Call 448-0100, WhatsApp 276-5213 or visit any of their locations. Cross Street, Roseau, Pickard, Portsmouth, Marigot or Grand Bay. Lafayette's House Medical Laboratory. My choice, your choice, our choice.
Welcome back to Calypso Conversations. We are talking about the turn of the century, and I'm here with Davidson Observer Victor and Daryl King Bob. We're here in St. Joseph at Surprise Beach Water Sports Bar and Grill. Now let me tell you a little bit more about Surprise Beach Water Sports Bar and Grill. You can get a wide range of services here. They offer restaurant, bar and nightclub services, and come on, host one of your events here. Birthdays, weddings, receptions, name it, they will cater to you.
Calypso as well.
And of course, Calypso. And come on every Sunday, enjoy some beach sports right here at Surprise Beach Bar, Water Sports Bar and Grill. They're open from Thursdays to Sundays. So we're going to jump back into a conversation. Before we took a break, we spoke about your personal lives and how Calypso has changed it. Would you encourage people to come into Calypso to maybe get on the right track? What can Calypso give to young persons?
One of the things from being in Calypso for so long, you have to learn the history of Calypso, and you have to understand who you are. And one of the lines that I've developed is that we are a Calypso people. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter your religion. It doesn't matter anything, what walk of life that you have traveled. As long as you're a black person on this piece of rock in the world, you are a Calypso people. And what do I refer to as Calypso? To me, Calypso is that fight in you. It is that Calypso in you that caused you to be a successful business person. That Calypso, because you always have a challenge that you have to fight with. And remember, going back further in history, it was Calypso that was used to liberate your people. Calypso was used on the slave plantation so that they could sing and have fun. And they used a different language that we now call mask, that the master could not understand. So they said whatever they wanted. So Calypso really, really contributes strongly to our liberation, our freedom, and that spirit still lives within us in terms of our challenges, the things that we have to go through life to achieve what we want. And Observer expounded on it very well in his own personal experience in his life. So we are a Calypso people, just having a human experience. Okay, and that is what I have in me, and it's my understanding, my wisdom, as what Calypso means to me. So I hope it sort of captures or responds to your question in a sort of holistic way, without too much details. But I would encourage people to seek inside of themselves and find that fighting spirit in whatever you do. And Calypso definitely is what I refer to, that spirit that I'm talking about all the time. Students have to do it. Students have to reach down inside of themselves and express themselves. Forget about all those those negatives in life. And it is that Calypso thing that is within you as a black person that pulls you through.
And a lot of schools have adopted a music program, and you said you went to Kyrie School of Music. Do you think that Calypso is something that we should add into our curriculum, not just Calypso, but our local music? And do you think that's something that we should adopt?
Absolutely.
Oh, absolutely, because, for example, a lot of the students in recent times, when they have to do their SB, a lot of times we have to assist them because they come to us and all the things that they have to do has a lot to do with the Calypso. They have a lot of Calypso questions, the type of songs, the type of persons, the history of Calypso and those things. So Calypso seems to be finding the spot it's supposed to find, which is in the hearts and minds of every black person. As Daryl mentioned, that we are basically a Calypso people. But the thing about Calypso and what Calypso can do for young persons or an individual, Calypso has a certain type of discipline about it. And as a result of you being a Calypsonian, it transforms your life in a way where you kind of associate with other persons of good repute. You understand? And as a result of that, you want to kind of match your discipline to their discipline. So for example, and even we being the Calypsonians, we basically are the monitorers of the society. So we, for example, when I raise up in the ghetto, in Gota, poor boy and so on. In my household, we were not the type of household where news was a big thing for us. Listening to news was a big thing. Neither like a newspaper. You will not find a newspaper in our house because we didn't grow up like that. That was more for the middle class. But me being a Calypsonian, from the time I entered into the Calypso, my first real association was with Mr. Ian Jackson. Ian Jackson at the time and up to now is one of the most prolific writers right? And newspaper columnist and so forth. So when I used to be associated with him, I instantly grab onto the concept of listening to news, because he taught me that I need to listen to news, because when he writes a calypso for me and I have to go and sing it, I need to understand what the calypso is saying. And how I can understand it is by getting acquainted to the issues of the day, and how I can get acquainted to the issues of the day is by listening to news, reading newspapers. So every time I go by him or I go by Val Coffee, I used to pick up a newspaper, I used to start to read, and I get accustomed to that. So just being associated with the right set of people, it kind of brings it to a kind of discipline. I was a person, I can be very hyper at times, and being a Calypsonian and even being on the executive and even now as the president, a lot of people will tell you that I have toned down a lot, because I have developed a kind of discipline and realized that the responsibility that I hold as a Calypsonian, it's supposed to carry a certain kind of demeanor, you understand? And a kind of serious demeanor, a kind of demeanor that is acceptable to what persons and young people can emulate, and that's what Calypso do for you. So I would encourage any young person to get into Calypso, because you're going to associate with persons like myself, the Hunter, the Daryl Bob, the Dices, you know, the Caressers, the Trendsetter, the Lady Airs, the Shanices, the Tasha P's, and these people I call a fraternity of persons who carries a certain amount of discipline. And to associate yourself with us and to be among us, you automatically, it will rub off on you. It may take longer for some persons, but it will eventually rub off. And we can see, there's a lot of names that I can call that it is evidence that if I call certain names, you can say, yes, when that person started Calypso to where that person is now is a totally transformation.
Case in point, King Dice.
King Dice. I mean, King Dice is to me one of the most tremendous individual you can actually meet.
In terms of development.
And the early days he had his challenges, but I mean, Dice has grown and matured so much. It's amazing. This is just amazing, you know. So that's what Calypso can do.
The power of Calypso is
the
that.
power of Calypso.
And we have examples that we can refer to.
Okay, so I have two members of the executive, the Calypso Association.
You're
here
fortunate
with me.
to have us together at this time of
So we can cover all the grounds for you.
So outside of, Carnival season and Calypso, what do you think that as an association you all can do to get more persons involved or to educate others about Calypso? Because it's not just coming, during the Carnival season and singing and competing for the Monarch title, but this holistic part of development. What do you think as an association you can do?
There are so many strategies that we have been discussing over the past maybe 2-3 years, and I cannot talk about all of it. We don't have the time. But one of those strategies that will really matter to this discussion right now is the fact that we have decided to develop a closer relationship with the media, because the media is the conduit through which the message will be carried through. And we're hoping that we can talk more even after the season, because one problem we have with Dominican culture, we are too seasonal.
Yeah, we very much so.
Yeah, so immediately after Carnival, we expect to be talking, because we have added another thing to the calendar, which is the Calypso Day that brings you into a Calypso festival that we will experience this year, 2023. And the radio station, DBS radio, has to be a very, very integral part of that. So that is one of the things, one of the ways. And educating people, the content that we will drive through will definitely attract young people. Because first of all, we had a meeting once, and I said to some young people, do you all realize that Calypso is not just, you just come and sing at a show. You're actually vying for, in most cases, you're vying for $20,000. And also you get yourself involved in something that gives you a career opportunity. So there are a lot of young Calypsonians, they have already started doing so well, and they're traveling already. And it's unfortunate that the other genres don't give you that opportunity so instantly. So that's what I want to say. So Calypso does not really have competition when it comes to incentive. And that is what we were trying to let people know. But we have not been promoting, hey, the grand prize is 20 grand, and a lot of other prizes around it.
Okay, so you just mentioned other genres. We know that with everything, genres evolve, and but with Calypso, do you think soca music and even our very own Booyah music poses a threat to Calypso's authenticity?
I'll just say my little piece on that, and observer will run with the rest. it may pose a threat if we do not, each of us do not see our responsibility in the whole scheme of things, even the media. Because if the media does not create a balance in terms of the content that it gives to the public, if you don't get enough Calypso out there as much as you get Bouillon, then you're going to see there'll be a lean towards what you're giving more. And remember, young people gravitate to what you feed them. So that is a responsibility that we all have to take. And as I said earlier, the media is an integral part of that process. So we will continue to educate people and to share the benefits of Calypso, and you will see what happens in a short space of time.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, soca music and bouillon music has been in existence for very long. So I don't think the music itself poses a threat. I think the management and the understanding and how we see the importance of each genre is what may pose the threat. If we see one music more important or less important, then we will gravitate to one of them. We don't want people to just like Calypso alone, because I like all kind of music. People are supposed to like all type of music, but we as a people must understand the significance of each genre. And Calypso, the Calypso genre, is probably the most significant genre. The reason I say that is that it is the only genre that speaks to everything that affects us on a daily basis. And Calypso is a genre of music that actually speak out for persons who are suffering inside and cannot speak for themselves. They may not be able to speak because they may be in an abusive relationship. They may be in a job situation where they are stressed but cannot talk because they might get fired. They might be in a group and want to say something but don't want to be sidelined because the rest of the group may not hold their position. But when the Calypsonian take all these matters and come and speak, we speak for the people. And that is not something that you want not to exist. It is too important. I mean, a lot of 95 or more percent of the time, people out there think like it's we that come up with the topic of our songs, you know. No. People. 95% of the time, the topic of the song come from the people. Is they that telling us what to sing for them on their behalf, because we represent them. And that's why I always, as president, tell the Dominican public that Calypso is all you think. We are the executive, we're just the leaders, we are just the custodians. We put things in place, we set the platform, we keep everything together. But at the end of the day, Calypso is all you think. So all you must always preserve what is all you think.
Okay, and we are running out of time. So before we end, any last notes, any advice you might have to Calypsonians? And do you see yourselves as mentors? You know, advice that they can have a long career like you all in Calypso?
Yes, I think if you take the art form seriously, if you pay attention, you will succeed. Success is not something that's limited to any one particular person. It's what you put into what you want to do. Your interest in life is what really will drive you through. And Calypso provides a large range of opportunities for people for learning, developing your wisdom, and being in touch with the public, and being a voice for the public as well. So you carry even a bigger role than a politician. A politician's lifespan is kind of much shorter than ours. We live our whole lives as Calypso ambassadors, custodians of it, and the ones carrying it. So the same can happen for anyone who's interested.
Yeah, basically I just want to impress on the younger persons who may have an opportunity in Calypso. We just want to impress on them that not to come into Calypso because you see it as an opportunity to make some money or to gain some fame or get some popularity, or some guys get some girls, all right? Because Calypsonians, especially the male part of Calypsonians, we attract a lot of girls. Understand? We are responsible in our behavior, but we do attract a lot of girls. So we don't want young people to see that, and as well as the young ladies, they attract a lot of boys. You'll be surprised so many boys that behind those girls. All right. So, but at the end of the day, what we want is the young persons to see Calypso as something that they can make a significant, responsible contribution to their society and the growth of their society and the improvement of their society. And that should be your first and foremost reason for entering into the Calypso business. And that's why I want to take the opportunity to just highlight this young gentleman who just crossed over from the Boyo to come into Calypso this year, which is a trilogy. And when you hear trilogy interviews and he tells you or speaks about how he enters into Calypso and what he has felt when he entered into Calypso, you will get a sense that he is there for the long haul. He's there because something of significance has hit him, and he's not in it just for the fame and the fortune and the money, but he's in it because it is something he feels as a young person that is significant to the development of our country.
Right, and on that note, we must end, but an interesting and educational conversation that we've had. Thank you to my guests, Davidson Observer Victor, Daryl King Bob, and to our host, venue Surprise Beach Water Sports Bar and Grill right here in St. Joseph. Thank you for joining us, our viewers and our listeners on radio. And join us on Thursday as we discuss music, lyrics, and bands. Until next time, I'm Krishna Joseph.
Are you looking to construct a building? If your answer is yes, then contact CSK Concrete at Ravin Lechelle Savonpai for all your concrete needs. They are the suppliers of concrete premix and concrete pumping. Call them on telephone number 616-6565. Let them supply all your concrete needs. CSK Concrete at Ravin Lechelle in Savonpai. Go get all your concrete needs.
Calypso! Calypso!
Are you looking to construct a building? If your answer is yes, then contact CSK Concrete at Ravin Lechelle Savonpai for all your concrete needs. They are the suppliers of concrete premix and concrete pumping. Call them on telephone number 616-6565. Let them supply all your concrete needs. CSK Concrete at Ravin Lechelle in Savonpai. Go get all your concrete needs.
Calypso! Calypso! Calypso!
Great things are happening at Lindo Mart. There it is. You can lean on the consistent opening of Lindo Mart. The bank is right there. Great things are coming. Keep listening to your radio, to Facebook, newspapers. If you think there was trusted service, it's getting even better. Convenience, all your products, the complete shopping list, everything you could possibly want, need, desire, request, or just hint. It's all right there. Wait, there's more. There's a lot more. Listen to a radio near you. Lindo Mart. We're growing bigger, stronger to serve you better.
Prosper, where you going busy so? Eh?
My brother, when you got to go, you got to go. That's a private moment.
Indeed, when a man gotta go in leisurely, that's not something you can say not now. Here comes instant relief in luxurious loose. Dominica, it is environmentally friendly. Luxurious loose is your friend indeed. That's why all of your septic waste is being dumped at the Wasco's plant and treated.
Hello, we don't dump by the river or by the bay or do vajou.
You better take in front before in front take you. Luxurious Loos, we also rent portable toilets for every type of public and private event. Luxurious Loos, we will take care of your dumping of your sewage and will professionally dump and safely dispose of all your used, damaged or expired groceries and give it a quiet funeral. Luxurious Loos, we are the #1 in the #2 business.
Call us at 448-2410 or 276-4289 or 277-2410.
Lafales House Medical Laboratory, my preferred choice for professional and confidential medical laboratory services. Lafales provides results for all medical tests. If it can't be done there, they will facilitate it through their international partners. Their main office in Roseau is open from 7:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Mondays to Fridays and 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Saturdays. Home visits and emergency services are also available. Call 448-0100, WhatsApp 276